Morning, afternoon, good evening, wherever you are everyone. Welcome back to the Partridge exterior cleaning channel. It's roof cleaning day today. So what I'm going to do on this job, I'll probably pop in me building up the scaffolding now. And now I'm going to take you through basically I'm not going to do this as like a guide, but it will be a rough sort of video of me sort of explaining a few things about how to get a roof cleaned quite efficiently. Speaking of, I've screwed up on this job. I don't have the right blade for the job. Now, if you don't know what I mean by that, usually I use something like this. A piece of metal that is cut out to fit the tiles perfectly. I didn't check this job enough. Now, up there, pan tiles, which I have every pan tile blade that exists. But on the top of the roof, I must not have had my glasses on when I was quoting it, because on the top it's not a pan tile at all, it's a bold roll I think it is, which are yeah, very difficult tile profiles to get. I need to try and order some. If anyone knows anyone that sells them, let me know, because I can't find any anywhere. But you'll see what I mean closer up to the job anyway. But so what I'm gonna have to do on this job is use the old trusty Renegade with a wire brush on the end. So basically just scrub all of the moss off with this little wire brush attachment. So now typically what I would do when I get to a job is, first step, I would funnel all my equipment around the back that I need. So I've got sort of my bag there, my camera's in, brush head, all my blades are in that army bag there, toolbox just in case anything breaks mid-job, bit of hose, PPE is all in this one. So basically get all your equipment ready for the job that you're going to need. Next I would set up the scaffolding tower, all ready to go. Try and figure out where you want it to be in position of the roof. So typically on a roof like this, 2 scaffolding movements, you'd have, you know, start at the left or start at the right and then move it once. It's a 3-bed semi, so it's not a long property. So yeah, only one movement you would need. Once you've done that, if you follow me over here, I get all of my chemical stuff ready. So as you can see, I have the Dosatron, the Dose Demon from GK Pro set up from the mains water that goes into that. So the main, let me take the top off and show you better. So that's the setup in there. So mains water tap goes into here, which then goes into the Dosatron. The Dosatron then feeds chemical out of this box in here, forces out of this one. This one, if you follow this hose all the way around, goes into my water-fed pole setup. From the water-fed pole hose, bang, 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 I actually have got a tap on here somewhere. There you are, so you can see that, so I control on and off there. So I'll carry that up with me when I'm on the scaffolding. So that will be sort of up there, strapped to the scaffolding next to me, so I can turn it on and off while I'm up there. And feed that hose all the way through into the over 8 with the brush on top. And obviously before the job, I get all this set up ready to go. But check all the fittings, make sure everything's nice and secure in there. So that's typically how I'd set up the job. So now it's nearly 10:30 and I got here late, we were stuck in traffic anyway. So yeah, that's how I would start my job. So I'd get everything set up. So then once the scaffolding's up and I've scraped the roof, I can literally move the scaffolding probably into the middle of the roof and then biocide it straight away, take all my scaffolding down, build it back up around the front and do the same around there. And then you're ready to go, just a bit of cleaning up and we're sorted. So. Right then folks, hope you can see me alright. So how I would typically then start the roof is I would use my little wire brush on the pole and I would scrub all the way along the ridge tiles. So try and get as much of that yellow lichen and things like that off as I can. Yeah, I mean the chemical will take care of it anyway, but yeah, it's best to just try and neaten it up and make it look nice. Now I'm actually going to have to do the entire job with this wire brush as I've just recently mentioned. So yeah, I'll just get cracking now, so enjoy the video. Right there folks, so first side of the roof is all scraped, so that's normally what I typically do one side, clear out the gutter in. Now let me show you. So I've got a pile of mess down there that I'll clear up in a minute, and the next stage is to then disconnect the downpipe. So as you can see, I've taken the top of that downpipe off, so any chemical that goes in there is going to drip straight down onto there because there's no bottom drain, and I've done the same with the garage one there because we're doing the garage too. Now typically you'd have a drain that would sort of go into, come out at the bottom here, there might be a gap. Now you could basically put a bucket underneath there, you could tie a bag around this part which would collect all of it, and then you just take it away just to stop it going into the drains, but whereas on this that's not possible because it goes straight into concrete. So I'm just going to leave that off and just let it drip down. I'll put a bucket there, yeah, and just do whatever. I mean, you could strap a bag on there, but I worry if it gets too full it'll fall down, splatter everywhere, maybe go on in someone's face or in someone's eyes, so we don't want that. So I'm just going to let it drip, let the customer know. So now I'm going to prepare to biocide. So face mask, ABEC 1 filters, you can get this from Screwfix, I'd get mine from arco.co.uk. These nitrile gloves, these are okay, you can get sort of big rubber ones, but I tend to throw them away after every job anyway, so what's the point spending like £7-8 a time? You get some of these are pretty decent ones as well, so they're quite tough wearing. Don't get the cheap ones from B&Q because they just rip all day. Yeah, sorry, I cut a bit of cardboard off earlier. Oh yeah, speaking of, sorted out the solution to the the problem that we had with no blade, because it was taking forever with the wire brush. So the customer is an engineer, so he kindly helped out with some of his tools, and we got that sorted because I didn't bring any tools with me to make my own blade. This is just a flat nylon blade. Yeah, and we just sort of drilled a bit in it to make this. So yeah, scrub it in a bit and it starts to sort of wear down and fit onto the tile. So I will soft wash the roof now, and then it's basically just rinse and repeat for the front, so exactly the same thing. Take the scaffolding down, tidy up any mess that's left, set up around the front, scrape the roof, clear the gutters, remove the downpipes, put the biocide solution on the roof, tidy up again, you know, mop the gutters out if you want, before you connect the downpipes back up, which you should do really. Tidy up, go home, there we go, simple as that. So yeah, it's a very simple job, just a bit of hard graft, so I'll crack on. Okay, so there's going to be water running through this for about 30 seconds or so. This is just waiting for the chemical to capture it. May have already just started, we'll see. Now the key to this is just no rush, just take it slow. You want this roof to be completely and utterly soaked. Right, that bit's all done now, so the back is all completely finished. I'm just waiting for it to stop dripping from where I've disconnected the downpipe, so I'm just catching all that in a bucket, waiting for that to stop dripping, and then I'll go set up around the front, because it's kind of blocking the door actually. Yes, I'll clear up some misconceptions. A lot of people say, oh, you should start at the bottom, work your way up the roof to get full coverage of the roof. Not true, you don't need to. The angle that the roof is at biocide, the GK Pro biocide and any biocide is a natural surfactant. So what that means is when in reaction to water and a bit of agitation, scrubbing, it just foams up like crazy, almost like washing up liquid, and then it sticks to the surface that it's on. So unless you're doing things like brick walls, rendering, if you're going to be biociding that, it's always good practice to start from the bottom and work your way up, because it will drip down. So if you start at the top, the drips might sort of cover certain areas and you might get some run marks and things like that. So it's always good to get full coverage on a vertical surface, start from the bottom. But on a slanted surface, you know, anything that's not straight pretty much. If it's a really steep roof, then yeah, I would probably start from the bottom, work my way up just to make sure I get that full coverage. But on roofs like this, you do not need to start from the top, and it's actually better because the rundown will help flood the gaps on the way down instead of it just sort of briefly soaking in maybe if you're working your way up the roof. So I hope that clears up, because I know a lot of people get confused about stuff like that. Secondly, why am I not wearing like a big full chemical spacesuit? I don't need to. I'm not close enough to the solution to really get anywhere near it. It never touches me anymore. Most of the jobs I actually do from the ground these days when I'm soft washing. I did this one off the scaffolding because I was just right here, but still I'm right at the edge of the scaffolding and I'm really far away. It never gets anywhere near me. The main important thing is always wear gloves, because it can run down the pole onto your hands. So always have your gloves on and always have your glasses and your mask on. I'm usually far enough away, especially when I'm doing it from the ground. I wouldn't even actually need to wear a mask. But it's always good practice too, just in case, because prolonged exposure, no one knows what it's going to do to you. So yeah, hope that clears a few things up. I think that's all I've got to say. So I'll take the scaffolding down in a minute. Just waiting for that to stop dripping. It's nearly there. Set up around the front and just rinse and repeat. Time is 3 o'clock. I'll have the rest of this done within the next couple of hours. So yeah, thank you very much. Sorry folks, the GoPro died I think, but that's the front of the roof all biocided. I'll put a new battery in and show you that bit down there. Nice one. This is my tap setup by the way. I just have it hooked around that and I can turn it on and off from here. So yeah, there we go, looking good. Right there folks, hope you can see that okay. Hopefully I don't get demonetized by the Red Hot Chili Peppers playing in the background. But that's all done. So what I'm going to do now, rinse out all of my equipment on the gravel there before putting it in the van. Customer said that's fine. Sorted these gutters out again. I've blocked that one off because I couldn't get that downpipe off, but that one I've taken that off. That's dripping into a bucket below that. But yeah, apart from that, it's all come up lovely. So I'm going to tidy up all of this mess, take the scaffolding tower down, and then that is job completed. And then any bit of aftercare with the customer that's needed, maybe go back after a couple of months, clear out the gutters in case any of the moss that was left up on the roof that's now died off. We'll fill up that gutter in again. It won't be much, there'll probably be a ½ inch in there, but it's always worth sort of having a look, isn't it? So yeah, clean up, rinse out equipment, take the tower down, clean up the tarps, job done. So that's basically how to do it. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below. The time right now is 5:45, but I've spent a couple of hours chatting with the customer. We've had a beer and everything, so yeah, that's the job all completed.